Hi, this is Sayed,
This is Matt.
and we are here today to talk about a very important subject. A lot of you see us every day here in town, and a lot of you online are wondering about one thing: how to smoke a cigar. Or you have a lot of anxiety and stress to walk to a cigar lounge or a cigar retailer to buy your first cigar. So we are here to talk about our experience with our first cigar and the mistake we have made, and we'll tell you how to avoid them.
Man, my first cigar, I burnt it to a crisp. It was a gifted Davidoff. My friend started toasting it for me, and then he told me to, light it up, take a puff, and I was good after that. I held the lighter really close to it, took a puff. Whole thing went up in flames. I'm like, oh, is this supposed to happen? He's like, blow it out. Burnt the whole foot of the cigar. But, after I got it started, I let it calm down. It was fine. But,
Do you remember what Davidoff it was?
I don't. It was so long ago. And I was a newbie back then. So I just remember it was Davidoff, a previous business partner. He smoked cigars occasionally, and he had a Davidoff. He's like, you know what, smoke this. I was like, okay. Tried it, loved it. But I made many mistakes. So basically what we want to do is give you guys a rundown of, how to light the cigar properly and, do it in proper steps so it's not so daunting. It's very easy to light a cigar the wrong way. It's easy to never smoke because, you think the community is not going to help you, and it's very niche thing and people don't want to share the enjoyment, but everyone in the community loves cigars and loves sharing the experience of cigars. So to start out, toasting, you already lit yours, so I guess I'm going to be the one showing the toasting.
Go ahead, go for it.
So this is a torch. Mind you, we're outside. I can't see the flame, but I'm going to try my best to show you how to toast it. You want to toast the edges of the foot first, and then you want to warm up all the tobacco. Try to do it evenly, continuously turning as you toast it.
One other thing, as you see, is a torch. And if you were paying attention, I was lighting my cigar. I was toasting it with a yellow flame. That's not a great idea for outdoor. It just stopped working for some reason, so I had to use that one. But the best way to do it for outdoor when there's a lot of wind is using a torch, because it would give you even burn, and so you can toast it evenly. As you see, he's also not touching the flame, so that he's not burning it, so it doesn't mix up the flavors.
So this is somewhat toasted. It's just all you want to do is toast the edges a little bit and warm up the tobacco. And now you take a puff and you're done.
That was beautiful.
A little trick after you light it, you look at the foot right here. You look at the foot and make sure all of it is burnt and evenly lit. So I like to do a little blow on it, just to make sure everything's lit. And then you let it sit for maybe about a minute. You don't want to get it too hot, because when you get it too hot, you get harsh flavors. The smoking experience isn't as enjoyable, and you'll cause all sorts of weird burn patterns on the wrapper, piping. It's a big one. Cigars are meant to be enjoyed, so take your time, sit down and enjoy it.
So as he said it, the toasting part is one of the most important part about enjoying a cigar. Because if you toast it properly, it's going to burn evenly, so it's going to give you a pleasant experience, right? Mm-hmm. Rather than burning it on one side and the other side is not ready to smoke, and now you're burning on one side that it goes down and the other side is already up there. Even though we were outdoor, and look at this one. This is pretty good. I mean, this is a nice cigar, but it's burning almost evenly for outdoor. Another way to also make it work evenly is to rotate the cigar now and then. So if you're smoking it in one way, just every now and then you just rotate it, so it gives you that even burn over time. So I want to tell you about my first time that I walked into a humidor and bought my first cigar in person. I was always passionate about cigar and tobacco and the smell of it, but I never got into cigarette or hookah. Mm-hmm. And hookah is more occasionally with some of the friends. But one day I was like, you know what? It's time for me to try this. Actually do everything myself, right? So I walked into a cigar lounge. So I did a lot of research before I go to a cigar lounge, and I don't recommend that. If you have time, go for it, and if you're passionate about it, go for it. I had a lot of information. So I was very confident. When I walked in, the person thought I'm a daily smoker, right? So he's like, "Oh, which lounges do you go and smoke? And what are your favorite cigars?" And I just, I made that. I just kept going with the conversation, right? Like, and then he left me alone with the whole humidor, walk-in humidor, and I took my time, picked my first cigar. It was a house cigar, Churchill-sized Maduro. So I started in the most craziest way and built my palate with that. I mean, now I enjoy more Dominican tobacco more than Nicaraguan, but back in days it was more like very spicy, Nicaraguan tobacco, which built my palate to a level that I could tolerate any cigar basically. Now I'm a daily smoker. I smoke full body cigar, but now and then I do enjoy a mild towards medium cigar as well. So that was my first experience. So the point is, had Matt mentioned it like in the beginning of our conversation, you shouldn't be afraid of asking questions or having the feeling of being judged by the other smokers. We would love to help you out. Anybody at the lounge, at the cigar shop, they would love to help you out because the feelings for us is like, I don't know if it's a great example or not. It's like when a woman asks you to open a jar, right? Like that's the feeling I get. Now,
Okay.
like in terms of the joy, right? It's like
Yeah.
you can do it yourself, but at the same time you're getting the help. So it's like it's nice to ask.
It makes you feel important.
Exactly. like it's and plus it's a community. Cigar is
Yeah.
a community, and like we're there for each other. Nobody judges. Oh, like burned it or like you cut it too much or things like that. So feel free to ask. Nothing
Yes.
wrong with asking.
So I actually didn't know much about cigars at all before I started smoking them. Never did any research. I mostly just picked up things, just being around cigar smokers and, just kind of observing, seeing what they do, picking up like tips and tricks along the way. And, now I know a decent amount about cigars just from observing other smokers. So I feel like that's a good way to learn too. You don't have to go the whole route Syed did and, research and YouTube and, you're just going to get overwhelmed. It's honestly better to kind of go in blindly and let someone who's experienced show you the right way to do things, just so you're not hearing a bunch of different things from a bunch of different videos. I would just wait, go to a lounge or a shop and have them help you pick out a cigar. Just say it's your first one. Let them pick you out a cigar. I definitely recommend something mild, maybe even medium if you're, a little braver, but I would definitely do something mild, probably Connecticut wrapper. Those are usually a lot more mild. And, kind of ask them, like, do you guys have any tips and tricks for first cigar? They'll probably show you how to cut it, which is something we probably should have done. When you cut it, all you want to do is just cut the cap off just enough to expose the tobacco. You don't want to overcut it because you'll start to unravel the wrapper, right? So you want to very minimally cut it.
Another point, when you're outdoor, I don't know if we got on the camera. I think we did. So I just half of the ash just dropped on my chair. So one thing, if you're a cigarette smoker or you're not, and you're just like feeling you have to ash it now and then or flicking it now and then, and so that's one thing, you don't want to do it as often. If you're outdoor, the fear of like, it's gonna just, because of the wind and you can't control it. It might just happen the same way it happened to me. So you do it as Matt did, right? You just like ash it or you flick it, or you just, the easiest way and would be like, you just go like this. I don't know, do we have that in the camera? So you just go like this, easy. That's it. It's ready to smoke, right? Just go around. We have to make another video about like when people go to lounge and things like that, because now it's like, that's one of the videos I always wanted to make, because now I did that and I just remembered people how they do it like here, the way they do it, but that would be for another video. I think beside all the rules and etiquette and all the ways that you can smoke a cigar, the most important thing is the whole reason we smoke a cigar is to enjoy it, right? We don't want to make it hard on ourselves, like, oh my God, like being stressed out about smoking a cigar. No, you got to smoke a cigar to make you relax, right? Like relax and like don't worry about people judging you. You're not going to get rewarded for doing it 100% right, and you're not going to get punished for it because you did it wrong, right? Like, so that's the most important thing. So feel free and like light and, like, it's like, I'm going to enjoy this cigar. Maybe I'm not a cigar connoisseur, but I want to enjoy it. There's nothing wrong with that.
I would definitely say there's some key beginner mistakes I can think of off the top of my head. It's definitely smoking way too fast. You do not want to smoke a cigar too fast because you'll get uneven burn. You'll have way too much nicotine hitting your bloodstream way too quickly. And if you don't smoke a lot, it'll make you sick. You also do not want to inhale cigars. Do not inhale. You puff, keep it in your cheeks, and exhale. You do not inhale it. It's not weed. It's not a cigarette. You don't inhale it. You puff, and that's it.
It's like mouthwash, right? They just keep it and just get it out.
So your body absorbs it through the gums. You're not inhaling it and absorbing it through your lungs. It's not a cigarette. Any other beginner mistakes you could think of off the top of your head?
I think for me was more than mistake was doing it right? That's I already talked about it. But definitely not smoking it fast, because if it makes you sick, the best way also to control that is to have it with something sweet, right? Like Coke or I don't know, like a cream soda, things like that. It would help you out if you get the buzz and feeling like sick. Because I remember when my brother tried for the first time, even though it was a mild cigar, because his palate wasn't ready for it, right? And his body reacted really in the worst possible way. So it started like throwing up until 6 a.m.
I've had friends do the same thing. They smoked maybe 1-2 puffs and they're throwing up.
With the manager here, right?
Yeah, throwing up.
6 hours in the hospital.
So be very careful. Do not smoke too fast. I definitely recommend, if it's your first cigar, eat before you smoke the cigar. Do not do it on an empty stomach. Doesn't make you less of a man. You need to have food in your system. Otherwise, you're in for one hell of an experience.
Yeah, and you don't want to have a bad experience as your first few cigar, basically, because it may stop you from experiencing more. Another point would be, I forgot. I just had it. I forgot.
It's okay. This can be edited.
I'm old, yeah.
He's 30. He's ancient.
I'm expired.
He's expired for sure. Talk about expired milk. Product nobody wants. That's this guy. So, just to recap all the tips we've given so far. First one, we didn't get to show you because we didn't plan ahead, but first one would be cutting the cigar. Just cut the cap, very little, just to expose the tobacco. Second would be toasting the foot. Just hit the edges, then evenly warm up the tobacco at the foot, and then take a puff, and then you're lit. And then when you do that, turn the cigar foot towards your face so you can see if it's evenly lit. Give it a slight blow, and that's it. You're fully lit. Do not inhale. Puff, keep it in your cheeks, exhale. Do not smoke fast, and make sure you eat before you smoke the cigar.
If you want to get more flavors, just keep it longer. So you get a lot more flavor like that. I just remembered my point. A lot of people in my experience, when they're shopping for a cigar, they're like, oh, I want to experience something strong. If you smoke something strong, that makes you even like more cool or whatever. No, not necessarily. There's a lot of premium brands that they make a lot of mild, medium cigars. And if you are a mild or medium smoker, it doesn't make you any less than somebody that smokes like full body cigar. It's just like different palate, different our bodies are different.
Yeah.
So it's like, just start with, as Matt said, start with something mild to figure out how your body would react to it, right? Like, and your body might be ready for it, for a full body cigar, or might be perfect for a medium body or a mild, right? Like, and there's nothing wrong, because the point is not, there's no competition. There's nothing like, I'm cooler than you because I smoke like full body cigar, or I'm less than you because I smoke a mild. No, it's about enjoying.
Yeah.
And experiencing and having good conversation. And this, regardless of the strength, as long as it's a premium cigar, it's gonna just elevate your gathering, your conversation. It just makes things better, right? And just keep that in mind, basically.
And just to kind of bounce off of his point, to give a little context, I smoke every day. I actually enjoy mild to medium cigars more than full body. Especially lately, they're way more smooth to me. They have enough flavor, and it's just a more enjoyable smoking experience as somebody who smokes every day. So you really don't need, a full body cigar. You don't need a Maduro. You don't need to go crazy. It doesn't make you any cooler. Doesn't make you macho man. What's one of the harshest cigars you've ever smoked?
like LFDs, double
Yeah,
Ligero,
double Ligero.
or the
No.
Illusion
The purple wrap. I
That was
still have that in
wild.
my humidor. I'm not smoking
Or
that.
the special one from Illusion that they don't sell it to the public, and I made a video about that too.
Okay, that one was.
That was wild.
That one, the opening. So the opening in that one, I don't know if they're gonna start selling it, but it was basically a special blend they let us try when we went to the Illusion shop. It was a special blend. They let us try it, and the opening was, man, it was harsh. It is full of flavor, but it hits you like a truck. Like
Yeah.
it's not like other openings on cigars that start off very light, and then you get to more flavor in the middle of the cigar. And at the end, there's usually, slight differences. It really just depends on how they rolled the cigar. But with that one, no apologies at all, just
Oh yeah.
packed with flavor throughout the entire cigar.
All right, I think that's it for today, right? I mean, we
Should be it,
covered
yeah.
some good points about cigars, and I hope it helped you out. And basically, just ask for help.
You know what we should do is give a couple recommendations of beginner cigars.
That's a good way to end the.
I would say good beginner cigar would be Perdomo Champagne. Very mild cigar, and it's a very nice cigar. Do you
Olivo
have any-
Connecticut.
I'm not a fan, but yeah, that's not a bad one. I'm not personally a
That's
fan.
great. That was our number one in sales.
I'm not personally a fan, but
Don't
okay, I
listen
can
to
see
him.
that.
That's a great
see that.
stick, and it just helps you, enjoy the cigar and also get into more cigar. That's a very good, like, mild cigar.
Fuente Hemingway, that's one of my daily smokes. What did we smoke the other day at the lounge in Loomis?
In Loomis, the Tobacco Republic.
Yeah, we had
the boutique brand.
no, we had an anniversary. It was an
it's
anniversary
the
bought by.
Yeah, it was
Davidoff.
by Aladino.
That's it, right?
That's a great stick.
Aladino has some great cigars for a really good price. So there's I think it was the Aladino
25?
25
I think so,
anniversary.
yeah.
That one's really good, packed with flavor, and I would say it's about a medium-bodied cigar. Great smoke.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet. That's true.
Everyone starts with a Romeo and Juliet. That was the first cigar I bought myself, right? So the first cigar that wasn't gifted to me was a Romeo and Juliet. Bought that myself. I mean, that could be a good spot to start, but I think
you're
I think
stressing out the people that are
Okay,
trying to
let's-
get into cigar
you know what?
roll.
Let's
because
just
you're
give
advanced.
let's just give simple recommendations that we've smoked and we enjoyed.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's do it off of that.
So
So
the-
I would say the Perdomo Champagne for me, the Arturo Fuente Hemingway for me, and then, if you want to go slightly more premium, I would go with an Aladino 25-year anniversary, and then there's a couple other Aladinos that are good, like the Aladino Cameroon wrap. That one's good as well. So we'll leave it at that so it's not overwhelming.
Those are good recommendations. I like those cigars. Olivo Connecticut, go for that. You will enjoy it. Like, I have recommended that for people that they started first time cigar in their life. And especially for ladies too, they tend to go more for mild cigar. And I recommend that. Another thing we didn't talk about is the infused cigar.
I knew you were going to go there when you said ladies. Okay, so I personally do not enjoy infused cigars. This is like a totally branched off topic. I personally don't enjoy infused cigars. The flavor for me is strange because I'm used to more earthy, leathery kind of flavors in my cigars. When they're infused with like certain type of sweetness or tea or just different kind of flavors, I find it strange, and I usually don't enjoy them for me personally. But I know a lot of people who do smoke them and they love them.
Right.
So it's worth a try, but I wouldn't recommend it for a first cigar personally.
Yeah, I would agree with you. You want to start something natural and get the natural flavors so you would understand how it tastes, right? And then you can try. I've tried all different kinds of cigars, right? From very cheap one to very premium one. But you also want to be careful about like what you want to smoke. So go for something premium, go for something light, mild, towards medium. And then you can explore other options, right?
Yeah, so when you get a little bit more experience, you can also start experimenting more with different flavor profiles, right? So every cigar has different flavor profiles based on the kind of tobacco, filler, binder, wrapper that's used. They all have different flavor profiles. So me personally, I usually tend to go more towards earthy, leathery, coffee notes. Yeah, I'd say that's like the majority of what I smoke, and that's what I enjoy. Some people love Sumatra wrapped cigars and, you know, spicier kind of flavors in their cigars. Me personally, not for me.
You know, I like it, right? I like it spicy, you know, a lot of spices and dark chocolate, you know, like flavors. But I also love that, a lot of Davidoff too. You know, it's my favorite brand, and most of their, I mean, they have Nicaraguan, but most of their blends are Dominican, right? And they tend to be lighter cigar. And I enjoy them all. And I enjoy them all because for me, it's not about how expensive a cigar is or how crazy the prices are. It's more, as long as it's premium and I like it.
I think that'll be a different conversation we have, where
it's
the,
just
the
like,
difference between, you know, a $5 stick and a $50
yeah,
stick.
we can talk about
Yeah.
that later, but that's like, just keep in mind that that's not necessarily, if you smoke $100 cigar versus like a $10-15 cigar, unless you're expert in like blending and knowing the tobacco, you really can't tell the difference if you're smoking premium cigar.
I would say if you're trying to, you know, upgrade from smoking, you know, I would say average for most sticks would be around $10. So if you're going from premium cigars, so like average $10 stick, to, you know, like a Davidoff or a Padron, which is around 16 to 18, maybe even 20 for a Padron, and about 25 for a Toro Davidoff. If you're going to upgrade to that, you should experience the $10 cigars first, so you understand the flavors of a cigar, and so you can be able to tell the difference. You know, when you drink wine for the first time, or whiskey or scotch, you don't go for the premium one first. You start with, you know, the entry level, so you can understand the flavors, and then you can tell the difference when you go for the premium. So we recommend doing that as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. All right, let's wrap it up. We'll come back with other episode about difference between a $5 stick versus a $50 stick, or like some other topics that you might want to know about. Just comment wherever we're posting this, YouTube, Instagram, and comment below, and let us know what you want us to talk about, and we'll see you
I
next
say we
time.
do a quick recap before we end it, just so we have everything organized at the end.
All right.
So, just to recap everything, first, start with cutting the cigar, which we weren't able to show you, but once again, cut just the cap, enough to expose the tobacco. Then you toast the foot, edges first, then you warm up the rest of the tobacco, then puff, turn the foot towards you, make sure it's lit, little blow, then you're lit. Do not inhale, puff, keep it in your cheeks, leave it at that. Make sure you eat before you smoke so you don't get sick. And do not smoke fast. Cigars are meant to be enjoyed, not for a fix. And then we want to go into our recommendations once again. Recommendations for a first cigar would be a Perdomo Champagne, Arturo Fuente Hemingway, Aladino 25 year if you want to get a little bit more premium. And then there's also the Aladino Cameroon wraps, which are mild to medium as well. Very good.
Yeah. You can try with Oliva, Connecticut. You can try with some other boutique brand like Illusion. They have a lot of good mild towards medium, and Romeo and Juliet for sure. And either twisted or just go for the original one. And ask for a recommendation. Yeah.
Right on. Well, we'll catch you guys in the next video.
All right.